Hey everyone, we'll start today's session shortly. So, till few more participants join in, could you quickly confirm if I'm audible? You can type a yes in the chat box. Thanks, Dinesh, for confirming. Just couple more minutes and we'll start today's session. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is Powering Change, the AIML Roadmap for a Smarter Tomorrow. So we are excited to have you all with us as we explore how, artificial intelligence and machine learning are helping to build a smarter future. So in this session, you'll get to know about the key trends, tools, and also the strategies that are driving change across industries. So, from smarter decision making to real time data and automation, we'll show how AIML is transforming the way we work, live, and innovate. So you'll also learn about, important topics like responsible AI and how to get started with your own AIML journey. So whether you're getting started or looking to stay ahead, this webinar will give you a clear roadmap for what's next. And to help us unpack this fascinating topic in a greater detail, we are delighted to have with us our speaker for today, Rushikesh Meherwade, the Vice President of Data Science at Motilal Oswal. Rushikesh is an accomplished data scientist with over a decade of experience in performance testing, application monitoring, and Java tuning. His expertise spans across NLP, which is natural language processing, machine learning, and mentoring tech professionals in both startups and global enterprises. So he has worked closely with top tech platforms and global organizations such as Capgemini, Renault, Nissan, bringing both technical depth and educational clarity to everything he teaches. So his passion for teaching and hands-on experience in building intelligent systems make him the perfect person to guide us through this session. And how you all can participate is that this is going to be an interactive session, so please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box or else in the Q&A tab at any point. And we are here to learn together, so no question is too small or too big. So yeah, without further ado, let me invite Rishikesh Meherwade to take us through today's session. Rishikesh, over to you.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for the introduction. Guys, like before we start, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear or not over the chat. If you can say yes and no, that will be of great help. Okay, I just see one message. Others, like guys, can you hear me? Awesome. I know two messages, but great, great. Awesome, guys. So welcome to the session where we talk about how the AI ML is going to bring us like a smarter tomorrow. You all must be saying how AI is making a lot of changes. There are with the recent advancements which are happening in the AI ML space, you must be seeing lot of startups coming up, lot of technologies, lot of tools. There are just so many things which are happening with respect to AI ML space right now. So this is a trending, booming space from past few years and growing till, and we see with all the things that have been done till now, there is a good potential that okay, the tomorrow is going to be much smarter. You may already see a lot of smart solutions which are coming up because of the adventures and advent of AI that is happening. Great. So with that, let's get started. Before we go, let me just give a small brief about myself. I've already mentioned my name is Rushikesh Merwade. I used to work as a VP of Data Science in Motilal Oswal. I have around 13 years of experience, and out of the 13 years, initial few, like 5, 7 years have been into performance testing, quality testing, uh, different type of testings I was involved in. But over the future, one thing like we used to deal with a lot of data. We used to analyze some server logs to do the testing, performance testing, and all those things. But all those things, one thing required was big data analysis. So I was very excited to see what is this big data and all this. And when I got into exploration of big data, I got to see there is a field called as data science. This data science field initially was looking like a field that should not be touched. There is a math. I was not good at math. I was a diploma student, so we don't get good math. So and usually machine learning, data science, all of this starts with the math because there is a basic math that you need before you get started. So I was not doing it for a lot of years. I used to just procrastinate. Okay, next year I will do it. Next year I will do it. But then there was a like very initial program from Great Learning around that time called as Babi Business Analytics, Business Intelligence. So I was able to complete this at a part-time level. So it was a very basic course at that time. Now I would say basic, but around that time it was still uh, very interesting. We used to do it in R. R was very hot at that time, and machine learning was something we did. But then over the time, deep learning, lot of new things have come up. We will just talk about it. So I've worked on different technologies like Gen AI, agentic AI, deep learning, machine learning, deployment, ML ops, LLM ops. So all those things we have worked in industry to get the things deployed, productionized, and usable. So that's a brief about me. Enough of it. So let's get started. Great. So what are we going to cover? Like what is AI? What are the different types of AI that you may hear about? Differences between different type of breakdown that we have in the AI ML space. What are the different terminologies basically mean? We will try to break it down. Then why we should learn AI in 2025 and even beyond that, but at least for a current year, why there is a need. How do you learn if you want to learn from the scratch? What's the roadmap that looks like? And what are the different careers which are there? And at the end, we will see what kind of curriculum is present for the AIML program. Now, uh, just before we start, with respect to AI, what do you think is AI as per you? How do you define AI as per your knowledge? AI as a two terms, what does they basically mean? So I want answers from the participants. It would be great to hear. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. Just try as what you think it is. Okay. Uh, Somebody saying LLM models is AI. Okay. Who would like to add more? So, what does the words artificial intelligence mean? It is a discipline encompassing multiple underlying disciplines. Okay, awesome, Dinesh. Like you are creating an infinite loop. It is a decision encompassing multiple underlying disciplines. But yeah, it's close to what we are going to. Anybody else would like to add? System doing join of human brain. Okay, great, Vishnu. Abdul says human thought in digital implementing. Okay, great. Dinesh says like ML, deep learning, etc. Vishnu saying job. Okay. Anurag says simulation of human intelligence and machine that are programmed to think, learn, and solve problems like humans. Awesome. Great, great. I think you guys are all able to put it very well if you combine everybody's answers here. But yes, see, it's a AI is a term that has been there from a long time. Okay, so AI has been there from 1950s, but the definition of AI has been very simple around that time. So what used to happen at that time is like this term was coined around that time, but around that time the technology, data, everything was very minimal. People just had a thought that okay, this is artificial intelligence. If we want to replicate the human decision making, the human intelligence into the machines. That's what it all started with. But around that time, the technology was very simple, and the definition was even involved as okay, can we just do simple automations, rule based automations, something where the human is doing and we want to automate it. As machines started getting better and better, humans started to get even better and better because see, the day today, the type of things that we do, and 1950, the type of things people used to do, it is very different. As they started to see the technology growing, they had to adapt and they had to do the next kind of things. Machine again started adapting, people started adapting. That is what is happening over so many years, and even that is going to happen over the future. We have to adapt, machines are going to adapt, we again have to adapt. That's the cycle of life. Okay, so AI has become so good because it is providing so much of a productivity, speeding up the processing across different type of fields. Like the state of data and AI literacy report that was published in 2024 revealed that 60% of leaders believe AI literacy is crucial for their teams. Understanding about AI will help everybody to make a better decision that okay, how we should expand ourselves, where we should put AI, where we should work. So those all things will help us if we are able to understand what AI can do and it cannot do. So professionals leveraging tools like ChatGPT and Gemini to optimize their work. So everybody nowadays is using ChatGPT. I don't think any technology person or even a non-technology person who will not be using ChatGPT, right? Everybody is it's like a like the way we have been using Google till now to answer our simple questions. Now we have gone beyond where it's not just answering the question, but it's like a complete assistant to us, where we are trying to continuously communicate with it with any thought of the thought that we have in mind, which for which we don't have answer, we immediately go to ChatGPT, we ask it and get it clarified. And we have got a trust on it now. Everybody has got so much trust. Now we don't even need to validate whether the response that we're getting is valid or not valid. Okay, so whether you are aiming to be a data scientist, ML engineer, AI researcher, AI enthusiast, deep learning engineer, LLM engineer, yes, there are so many different type of roles which are there, and this webinar is going to help you with practical tips and insights which will help you to master and use it in your business effectively. That's the core goal. We will understand how do you follow the path to get some mastery over these tools. Okay, so if you again try to break it down, it's basically a branch of computer science dedicated to creating systems that can replicate human-like intelligence. See, human-like intelligence is not simple. We have to millions of years to be evolved to get to the state that we have right now, the way we can listen, way we can understand, the way we work, eat, all of it over the millions of years we have adapted, and now we are able to do all these things so seamlessly. So the systems are like designed to understand natural language, recognize patterns, make decisions, learn from data and experiences. Right? We as a humans are all about learning from the experiences. We make mistakes, we learn from that, we learn from the books. The books are again mistakes made by other people. We try to learn from that. So it's all about learning as a process. And we also want the machines to take that kind of a process where they also keep learning and making adaptations and doing a better decisions. Now, if you try to break down AI into certain categories, okay, if you want to break down it into certain categories, it could be one is like a artificial neural intelligence. Okay, so neural intelligence is the most common form of AI today. ANI is designed to perform specific tasks, such as the things that you may have been looking into right now as voice recognition, generating recommendations for streaming systems. So whatever you are able to use it as a AI right now, we call that as a artificial narrow intelligence, like where it is not as part of the human. It is even not a label to the human. In some of the tasks, this AI is able to reach to the human level, but not yet to a parallel level. Second is the artificial general intelligence. Okay, now we are saying AGI. AGI is a term that was recently coined a few years back, but what we say is the AI system that can understand, learn, adapt, and even perform tasks at a human level across different tasks. Like we are getting closer and closer to AGI, but not at the AGI level right now. In certain tasks, yes. In certain examinations, certain knowledge-based things, in many of the things, AGI is something that is getting accomplished. So tools like ChatGPT demonstrate some generalized abilities. AGI is still a theoretical concept. We have not achieved a human level intelligence. We are still a bit far from what humans can do. And next is a artificial super intelligence. This is something recently coined. There was a book which was called as super intelligence, and what this book says is where machines can go beyond humans. They can do things which are like beyond humans. They are exceeding it all the things that we as humans can do. So, though it remains a speculative thing, but there are good potential um, that is possible. So, as we say, AI is right now not good at all the tasks at a human level, but there are many things like some could be decision making, some could be like automation related thing, coding related thing. In some of the things, like even a maths based thing, machines are able to go beyond humans. But to get across like all the things, like they go beyond humans at all the things, that is going to take a good amount of time. We are not at that phase right now. Great. So the difference. Okay, there are just many different terminologies that we have in AI space. There are different type of terminologies. People have coined many different terminologies, so that creates a confusion. But at a high level, let me just break down some of the things. So artificial intelligence is something that we talked about just now. It's a theoretical concept. Okay, AI is a theoretical concept which says that okay, a systems or disciplines, as someone mentioned, that okay, how we can create systems which can have intelligence which is similar to humans, right? Like we want to get to a AGI. AGI is a artificial general intelligence. Earlier, everybody used to call it AI, what you see here, but then because of generative AI, deep learning, people started to term them also as AI. So then scientists had to see that okay, the AI as a term is being misused a lot. So they coined a new term called as AGI because AI as a term was a theoretical concept which says at a human intelligence everything can be done. But as people started to misuse, that term got separated with a new name that is called as a AGI. So artificial intelligence, The goal is how do we achieve a human level intelligence at the theoretical level. Machine learning as a next important field, what's it say? It is a set of algorithms. It is a set of algorithms that can learn patterns from the data. It can learn patterns from the data and then make a predictions over the future. So to a kid, if you try to show a cat versus dog, a kid can easily identify that okay, you show it 2 to 3 times, the kid that okay, see this is a dog, this is a cat. In 3 to 4 times or 2 to 3 times, the next time kid will be able to tell you that okay, yes, this is a kid, this is a dog. For machines to be able to understand this distinction, we have to train them with a lot of examples. So to train is the same thing. We have to give it some 1,000 images of cat, 1,000 images of dog, and something very different. Then we give this as the data to the algorithms which are there of machine learning and ask the machine learn the pattern. Learn the pattern of okay how the dog features are, how the image features are. For that, it has to go through a, a set of data. So these algorithms are specialized in learning patterns from the data. And once that pattern is learned, we can use it to apply to any new data. That's a core thing for machine learning. Then talking about deep learning, machine learning was mostly limited with tabular data. It was going through okay, only like table-based data, but to go beyond the table data, which is the unstructured data like natural language processing, audio, video, images, these are all not very tabular like structures. They are complex in nature, unstructured in nature. For example, like text as a human language is very complex. It's not, there are multiple languages, same word has a multiple meaning. There are just so many complications. Images like a 2D dimension, two-dimensional data has a very different type of concept. To handle this kind of data, deep learning became very useful. So deep learning was able to understand this unstructured data very well and come up with algorithms which were able to understand this data in a much more efficient manner. Okay, so machine learning was more of a tabular data. You give it a lot of data, it will be able to learn patterns from it. But it was more structured data. Deep learning started to cater to unstructured data. And again, here also you give it a lot of examples with patterns. It will identify those patterns and will be able to apply toward the future. Then data science is something that will cater to all of the spaces and create some kind of a workflow between them. That okay, how do we create a data-based applications, which can be like utilize AI, statistics, computer science, all of it together to build a whole pipeline that okay, from the data till the deployment, and again, how do we keep refining it? The whole pipeline has become a data science, which is a science that can cater to any type of data. Now there are few more things which are there. There is a Gen AI, which is again an advanced version of the deep learning, where uh, from the deep learning some sophisticated models trained. They're also called as LLMs. Anybody knows the full form of LLM? I think many should know it, but do you guys know what is the full form of LLM? Perfect. Large language model. These are like large in size. They have learned the language data and they are models. Models are nothing but like mathematical formulas which have captured some kind of a pattern. So these are large language models which are able to understand the language in a much better way. But nowadays, not just language, they can understand images, audio very well, images very well, and even videos also very well. So these things are becoming more and more better over the continuous like basis. Many big companies are involved in training these models, and every day there are changes happening to it. Awesome. So now comes the next question, which is why do we learn AI? Many people have this question that okay, if things are getting automated, machines are taking the control, why we should learn AI? There was a recent article yesterday which was flowing out, which said that one company was looking for people who like software engineering role. They were looking for some role they were giving 20 lakh package, but everybody was using AI. Like they had allowed people to use AI to solve certain assignment that they have given. Okay, people are using the AI able to solve it, and nobody is able to answer the things. Right? Everybody is just trying to use this Gen AI based things, but not able to put the brains and understand things. This Gen AI things may automate to some level, but humans are still going to be in the control. Humans can't leave it fully. Humans still have to be there to take control of the things. But when we say take control, only those can take control who know the fundamentals, right? Like who know how things work, what goes in, what goes out, how it is working internally, externally. People who know it, they only can take control, right? That's where everybody need to learn AI, and AI is growing so fast right now. Like you need to be adaptive to this because over some future, for example, like next 5 to 6 years, like no one is able to predict how the world is going to be, what will happen, how will happen. But programming, AI, all of this is still going to be in control. So learning AI is going to be a very important thing. So AI is a fast growing field. It's growing very rapidly. This is growing so fast that even people who are in the AI space are struggling to understand what is happening. So, but if you are still in the space, you can still understand what and how things are going. It's a high paying job. It becomes high paying job when things are not stable. Lang or any technology that is stable and many people can understand it, then there is no big advantage that you are trying to make. But when things are not stable, they are on a continuous changing basis, and you are a person who still knows what is happening, then you will be paid more because that's a very dynamic field. Not everybody can get into it, and people who get into it, they will be able to create a better value. It doesn't mean it's simple. You have to put efforts, you have to learn things by putting some good time and effort, but then it's a off value. And AI is intellectually challenging everyone right now. uh, Beyond financial rewards, AI is actually like intellectually simulating field for everybody, from building complex algorithms to actually simulating how human intelligence actually works. AI professionals face different type of challenges that require innovative solutions. The systems are not stable. There is a lot of instability, and people who know these things need to bring in the stability and provide some production grade output, quality output, which will be usable. That's where it becomes important. It's a curiosity. Like even now, we get a curiosity to build things based on the recent updates which are happening. That's a that's what it really interests everybody. Now, how do you get started with like building it from the scratch in the age of 2025? So one is like the core skill, some prerequisites that you need before to get started is a basic mathematics. Few of the mathematics which are going to be useful is linear algebra. After that, in calculus, getting to derivatives becomes the important thing. You need to know how the derivatives are calculated, partial derivatives are calculated, then probability, statistics. This four layer plays a very important role while understanding the mathematics. Statistics, as I said, it helps us see it's a data science. It's all about data. Everywhere it's just about data and data in this field. So now if you're going into data, statistics and probability plays an important role. Statistics helps us generalize the bigger data in some simple form. Like if you have a large data and you can just like summarize it in some basic form. For example, like you have a billions of records. Okay, let's say you have millions of people ages. And if you want to understand the millions of ages, you can't just look at all the million values. Statistics helps you to compress that all 1 million values into some simple few numbers by which you can understand overall what this 1 million values look like. Okay, like a mean, median, mode, hypothesis testing. Just these are different type of things that you should get good with in statistics. And then a willingness to learn. Willingness to learn is going to be important part because every day you have to keep learning. The learning can't stop because this field is keep on growing. If it is growing, there are new things to learn. So you have to keep adapting, keep learning. So this becomes a very important part. So going further, like you need to develop some specialist AI skills. Okay, so one is like as we mentioned, statistics plays an important role. Mathematics is going to play important role as we discussed. See, mathematics sometimes may look very complex. As I said in the start, for me, the mathematics was not that simple coming from the diploma because there happens a big gap and we don't much focus good amount of effort in maths. Some are very good in math, but some may not be. I was not a good person. But after college, when I started with all these things, I had to go back to the maths again. But when you look at the maths and application perspective, it's a very different thing. Like when I see, okay, why calculus? Why we need to do derivative? What is the reason to get into derivative? Why statistics? Why probability? Linear algebra? We solved matrices, we solved determinants, but what's the use of it? Why we did all of those things is something that when you get into the practical applications of it, then it becomes more interesting. Now you're not just learning theory, but you actually learn practical ways and you start become you loving it. Then there are data structures which will help us to create a better software based system that again deals with data. That's why it's again a data structure. Okay, sorting these things, manipulating, searching, sorting, hashing, all those different type of things will be useful. Data science, understand how you can extract insights, patterns, structures from the data. So data science is all about getting patterns out of it. Even an LLM model, like large language models, when we say they are nothing but a large complex pattern learners. Okay, they are a large pattern learners. What they do is internally they have learned the pattern of a sequence of words. If this word is coming, what is the probability of next word? So if you see the chat GPT, it gives you one by one word as an output. So what's really happening is it just identifies the probability that okay, from all the learning that I have done, after this word, what is the probability of a next word? Something like that. So it's again a maths that comes up and the data. Machine learning, which is a list of algorithms which helps us to learn the patterns. Okay. Data science, as I said, it's all about data patterns. Machine learning is all about the algorithms that will help you define the like extract the pattern from this data. So different algorithms is what you have to learn in this phase. Deep learning are more advanced algorithms as compared to machine learning, which are based on the way human neural network works. Okay, we have such a complex computer processing system with everybody that okay, this brain plays a very important role. The scientists thought that okay, how do we replicate the way our brain works to get something interesting from the machines, and they came up with artificial neural networks. But over the time, it just completely deviated from the way human brain works because we still don't know how the human brain, to a good extent, works and processes all this information in so interesting way. So deep learning takes care of all these complicated neural network based models. Again, LLMs are nothing but a large complex neural networks. Okay. So then talking about um, essential about the AI tools and packages, there are different libraries that we need to handle. Uh, Pandas for data manipulation, NumPy for mathematical operations, scikit-learn for machine learning, PyTorch and Keras for deep learning. So these are the libraries which will help us to actually work with Python and achieve the things that we have discussed about. Okay, scikit gives us machine learning libraries like the algorithm that I discussed. Different type of algorithms you will be able to understand and with or implement with the scikit-learn. PyTorch is by Meta, Keras is by Google. These are some deep learning models which helps us to build a better complex neural network based applications. There are different type of APIs also which we can use to access um, a paid model. LLMs are huge in size. Like if you want to work with LLM directly, they are huge in size. You will require a lot of GPU-based memory to host them. That may not be possible with everybody. So this company also comes up with the API, which is a use per based cost that you have to give. It's like the tokens is like a number of words it is being charged on. So there are APIs, you call it, and you are able to get some output. So like all this OpenAI, Gemini, Mixtrill, Llama, this library we can access through the paid commercial APIs. Hugging Face and LangChain are some professional tools which helps us to deal with the LLM models. We can interact with the LLM models using Hugging Face and LangChain. They give a very good libraries which we can use to implement some good GenAI based use cases. Okay. Now, if you think of the overall learning timeline, right? Like if you're going to start, you may think that okay, how much of a time I should put into it? Because once you start and you think that okay, no, I will just finish it in all 1 month, it may not happen. You say that okay, no, I will finish it in all in 2 months, it may not happen. So if you put some wrong expectation with yourself, it you will not be able to complete the thing. So this framework here will give you a high level picture that okay, how much of a time will go into learning these things. So you should focus on learning the foundations between 1 to 3 months. So foundations that we discussed just now, building mathematical basics, understanding the Python because Python plays a very important role, data manipulation, then going next. Once you have the basics learned, then next is like in 4 to 6 months, you should learn actual algorithms. Now you have built the foundations that is required, like mathematics, programming, how to manipulate the data. Next step is actually going to the algorithm. There are different algorithms: random forest, XGBoost, logistic regression. There are just lot of different models which are there, which you should learn to understand how the data is actually processed. So AI concepts, ML algorithms, how does the training really work? What does the training mean? What does the testing mean? What does the train test split mean? There are just different type of things that you should be learning in this step. Learning will take one thing, but you have to practice. This 3 month is not just to learn. You can learn it in like maybe 1 month, but you should also keep practicing and getting a good practice on good data sets, good problem statements to get your good hands dirty. Okay, like that's what is very important. You have to get your hands dirty. That's how you learn. Just learning theory will never help you. Okay, you have to get your hands dirty by getting the practical things done. That's when you learn. So that's why you have to give this a good time here. Then further specialization. Now, in 6 months, you will get a good foundation to understand how the AI works, how the machine learning works, how the overall workflow looks like. And if you want to build some complex applications, that's where you go for a specialization. The specialization may involve going further to the neural network based models, which is deep learning, then understanding ML ops. How do we deploy these models? Like you may have heard of, if you know the software field, you may have heard of DevOps. Like DevOps is all about how do we handle a software engineering pipeline. ML ops is all about machine learning operations, building the machine learning models, deploying the machine learning models, monitoring the machine learning models. All of that will happen within the ML ops. So that's a very important requirement right now in the industry that people should know not just algorithms, but should know how do we deploy, utilize, operate, and get the things done till the production. That becomes a more important thing. And then the domain expertise, natural language processing, computer vision, LLMs, finance. So you have to mix and match the technology with the domain and then see the actual benefits. If you don't actually merge it with the real use cases, the learning is just learning. Like you have to match it like either get good with finance based applications, healthcare based applications, insurance based applications. So you can cater to something so that you can learn it in a better way. And then going beyond is all about a continuous learning, which could involve like again advanced specializations as LLM, agents. Those are the new things which are going on. Ethics plays a very important role. You should learn when to use what and when not to use something. Okay, like you have to be very responsible in terms of your usage. These AI systems are good, but they also have a bad side. It can also be used at a bad side, so you should know the ethics that again, if I do this, this is a good thing. If I do this, this would be a bad thing. So understanding those boundaries plays a very important role. Then the industry trends, what is happening, how is happening, what all is going on. So just keeping an update over all these things that plays a very important role. Awesome. So if we talk about the career perspective, there are different type of roles and responsibilities which are available. Data scientists, machine learning engineers, research scientists. If we talk about the different differences, one thing to add is uh, every company may have a mix and match of these roles. Now, when I say just data scientist, some companies may have a larger data scientist, but some software engineering, some data analytics added to it. So there could be some mix and match of the roles that we will discuss. Okay, so for example, data scientists will be working on extracting and reporting meaningful insights from the data and problem solving, that effort that goes on into it. Okay, so guys, like people who are raising hands, we will finish it in some time and then I'll be open to answer all your questions. We will go through the questions. Please keep your question noted. You can put it over the chat if you want. Don't stop any questions. Just put all your questions over the chat and I will answer each of them. Okay, great. So data scientists should know very good Python. R is optional. You should know SQL, ML concepts, statistics. These are like core skills that you need to become a data scientist. Then you should know the fundamental, the 6 months part of it. So whatever we discussed the timeline thing right now, the 6 month part of it, you will be able to get to a data scientist role. Machine learning engineer is like the ML ops side of it, where we're able to build the model, but also see end to end how it can be deployed, how it can be productionized, how it can be updated again, how do you monitor it? All those things will come into it, like design and deploy the ML systems for predicting the data. Key skills is like proficiency in Python, Java, Scala for like Spark, ML frameworks for doing a different deployment, data structures, software architectures, mathematics, teamwork, problem solving. So all of this thing will become important for the ML engineers. Okay, Scikit, TensorFlow, Pandas, NumPy, AWS. Cloud becomes important because that's where majority of the companies will deploy, these models. Research is a different area where you're not actually building some production grade system, but you're doing a research around new things which may not be already present in the existing world. People may not have worked on the problem that you are trying to solve, and you want to work on creating a new research around your activity. So, like conduct research to advance the state of the art in AI and publish your findings. Machine learning, deep learning, programming, AI related math, conceptualizing, and also working on the public speaking. So all these things will play a very important role when you go for a research-based role. That will require a lot of expertise in terms of mathematics, understanding how the systems really work, how the AI things work. So you have to get at a very core level. Your core should be very good if you want to go to the research part. Okay, so in terms of the overall curriculum roadmap, the very important thing is the fundamentals of Python and learning about data science. What does a data science really mean? Once you have that, like this will involve understanding data analysis, data exploration, how do you process the data? Okay, all that will be covered as part of a one. Then second is a machine learning algorithms and advanced technique. Building machine learning algorithm, learning what all different algorithms are present, where to use what algorithm, what are the pluses and minuses of each algorithm. Okay, and like you have to understand the challenges with each. It doesn't mean you have 10 algorithms, you can use everything. There are situations where some are good, some are bad for certain problem statements. But going through these algorithms will help us understand when to use what algorithm. Okay, then understanding the neural networks and computer vision, this is where the advanced things will start. You learn about deep learning, um, convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, textual data processing, vision level data processing. To some level, you will go into that part. So here is where actual textual part will come in generative AI and NLP. The LLM related era, how does the LLMs work? What does the agentic thing look like? What are the Gen AI? There are certain algorithms which are like special, called attention. How does the attention mechanism work? What are the transformers? Different type of algorithms are also present in this space. So this will be like advanced deep learning, machine learning, all of it. Once you are at this step, then actually deploying the system. As I said, deploying plays a very important role. You can keep playing with the toy data sets, toy models, and toy algorithms and code. If you're not able to learn how to actually deploy it to the production and monitor the systems, like getting a good role would be difficult. So this part plays a very important role in terms of people who want to really get jobs in the space. Okay, and then comes the additional things which is more related with the one. Okay, but advanced one I would say is SQL and applied statistics. How do we learn SQL? SQL is the way by which we will be able to fetch data from the databases. This is where most of the industry data is stored. And as I said, it's about data science, right? Like it's all about data. So we should also know how do we pull the data from the places where this data is actually present. That's where SQL will help. And to summarize this information, you will be using statistics as a core skill. Okay, so now to talk about the Great Learning. Great Learning has been a leading edtech company for professionals and in the higher education space. They have a best completion rates, good satisfaction from learners, and also having a good career transitions. So it's like a lot of batches are going on with respect to this. Okay, so great. I'll be ready to take the questions from the participants. Let me go through one by one. uh, Recording of this meeting. I think for recording, uh, Vijaynath, the Great Learning team will be able to help you with that. Then coming to Azad, I'm 12 pass out with 50%. I'm confused with should I take online degree? Okay, that's a, I would say out of context question, but see, getting a degree is important, I would say. Okay, you should go for a degree, at least complete a degree that will give you a lot of new mindset. Okay, it's not just about completing the things, but you also have to learn the mindset that goes into it. So it becomes important. Getting at least a bachelor level knowledge would be important to have. Okay, next is I'm a quality engineer, but I don't know about Java, Python. What can I do? Kindly guide me for upcoming process. See, as I mentioned in this, completing Python as a prerequisite would be important. It should not take a lot of time if you're already from the programming background. If you know programming to some level, learning Python would not be a difficult part. So you're already a quality engineer means you're from the computer space. People who have been like non-computer space also have been learning Python and implementing and building things over that. So it won't be that difficult, I would say. Try to go over the basics and get good with the basics, then further things will be much more better. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Any other questions that you guys would like to add or ask? Great. Happy to help you train. Great, Purnima. Happy to see that it was helpful. Any other questions that you guys have? Any questions around the program or the industry? Okay, I have a very good big question from Balaji. Thanks for the information session. I have close to 20 years of experience in pricing, business strategy, analytics. Have stats and algorithms education background, uh, and have R, SAS, and SQL knowledge in the past. Can you please suggest which path would add value, deep AI learning or executive learning like AI for leaders? So, Balaji, for you, I would suggest you would need to go to a lot more depth of building things from scratch. But so you should go for more of executive learning level solutions, which will give you a high level picture, and that will help you to lead the teams and do a better communication around this project. I think that's what you will be looking for. If you are an individual contributor, that's what I don't see you are individual contributor, but a business strategy and analytics person. So for you, going over executive learning should be a much better option where you get a good high level helicopter picture and you will be able to understand how these systems fit with all other systems, right? Like that's what you should understand is what I would suggest. Anurag, can you please help how AI can be used in finance industry? So Anurag, like, see, finance industry has lot of use cases. Okay, be it like stock market prediction, marketing automation, um, customer analytics, like which customers are going to buy your product, upsell, cross sell, uh, like customer propensity based models are created to understand which customers will be buying your product at what level, understanding the life cycles of clients. So with finance, I would say just there are so many different type of use cases. Many of the use cases will revolve around the customers. How do we understand the customer better using AI, and how can we sell right product to the right customers? Okay, all those things will become a important thing. Okay, so Anurag, I hope that helps. Purnima, I'm a BCA graduate. I'm literally confused in that as how I can kickstart my career in AI parallel to my MCA. Can you suggest me something what else I can do in addition? Um, See, if you're going for MCA after completing BCA, if you recently completed BCA, I would assume you have already got some basic knowledge of Python and AI because currently many of the courses have this as prerequisites. So you may have a basics, but now getting more hands-on. That's what I've seen that educational institutions I have been with different education institutions, and one challenge I see is more of a theory is present, but practical aspects, the industry aspects are missing. So that's what you should focus more on now. Okay, how do I build on top of it? How do I start working on lot of different problem statements? How do I understand, okay, how to deploy the systems? How does that end-to-end workflow look like from the problem statement definition to the data processing, to the models processing, evaluation, getting it deployed to some web, mobile, server, cloud, go to that end-to-end path. That's what I would suggest. That's what the core uh, college syllabuses are missing as per my knowledge. Okay, so Poonam, I hope I'm able to help you. But go over those things. That's what you should focus. Don't go for a basics again because you must have already got if you have been focusing on that topic, you must have got the basics. If not, start from the scratch. That's the other option. Great, great. Good to help you on that. Any more questions, guys? Please, like you can fill the form which has been shared by Great Learning Team if you have any questions. So the team can reach back to you with more details on your question. Okay, great, everyone. Thanks a lot for your time. I hope it was helpful to everyone. I hope you were able to learn something after attending the session, and which will be helpful to you. So take care. Goodbye.
Hey everyone, please take a moment to fill the feedback form shared. Just copy the link. You can drop the call. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a happy evening. Bye.